Again, it's also boiled down on us in the diaspora, talking fact, explaining to our brothers and sisters back home that it's not everything that is glitter that is gold.
But that's what you show us on social media.
Yes. So no, we in social media, what people are seeing is mainly the good things. You see, I won't tell to say, oh, things are bad in the UK. There things are bad. There. So if somebody finished university for 3-4 years and can't get a job, you're pushing the person to look elsewhere.
Yeah.
Even if most of our graduates coming from Africa are all traveling out of the country, which is a brain drain because all the resources going out and out. Are we getting much of what the wealth that are in Africa? I can't say don't come to UK, but don't take the risk of killing yourself to go through the Mediterranean Sea. Mm-hmm. Your life is far more than that. There are much more opportunities. There are much more opportunities once you are alive than risking to cross the Mediterranean. The amount of effort we put overseas, if we put those effort back home, you definitely have food on the table. African Tigress, welcome to the Calabash restaurant.
All right, thank you.
This is the bar end. As you come in, as you can see, these are open kitchen, and this leads you to the main restaurants, which are called Elephant Suite.
The Elephant Suite.
Because the photograph there, the elephant.
I see, because of the elephant over there.
Yes.
All right. This is lovely. Wow.
You're welcome. Let me show you the downstairs. You can see a display of the magazines.
Oh yeah, I see. Oh, those magazines that you sell.
Yes, the magazine we sell and produce from Calabash.
All right.
Magazine.
Wow, it's lovely. I just love the covers. They're beautiful.
Thank you.
All right.
This is the Calabash lounge suites that we hire for birthday parties and smaller meetings.
On the basement.
On the basement.
Okay.
Yes.
Graduation parties and all that.
Graduation parties, smaller parties, baby wash.
So you'll do you do setup if someone has an event?
We decorate the place for them if they want to. We supply them with food if they want food as well, which we do for £35 per head. And if they want a silver service, we do £40 per head.
All right.
That's a 2-course and a 3-course meal.
All right.
Or they could have it on a dry hire. They bring their own food, and we hire something with £80 an hour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Greetings, good people, and welcome to London. Today, I have an honor of hosting someone, an entrepreneur here in London, and I just don't want to say so much. I want him to introduce himself.
Hello, my name is Bankole Jones. I'm from Sierra Leone. I've lived in the UK for more than 20 years. I run my business here in the UK. As also, I do work as well for other people, but I run my own business as well.
All right, we're going to get into the business, but before we get into the business, I would want to understand a little background. So when did you move to the UK?
I moved to the UK in around 1992.
1992, wow, that's really, really long. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Yeah, that's like 30 years actually. 30
years.
Oh wow. Anyway, so I'm enjoying some drink here. If you can tell from my voice today, I'm having some sort of, flu.
Yes.
He's given me this. We're actually at his restaurant, but we're going to get into that. So a little bit, we would want to know, Bankole, before you are what you are right now, how was growing up in Sierra Leone? So did you just decide, okay, I'm gonna move and relocate to the UK? Like, how's the journey?
Wow, that's an interesting one.
Yeah.
I grew up in Sierra Leone for a while, finished my exams, started working in Sierra Leone, and luckily I picked up a scholarship.
Okay.
So I went to, it was not a plan to say, I didn't have any plan to say I'm coming abroad. No, it was just out of chance. Coincidentally, I picked up a chance. I went to apply for a scholarship to the former Soviet Union. USSR.
Oh, okay.
So I went to the Soviet Union. I did my master's over there and I graduated in agrochemistry and soil science. I spent 6 years over there. When I finished, that's time we have the war in Sierra Leone. I came over to UK.
All right.
And that's the time when we decided to say, I'm going to settle in the UK.
The UK.
Yeah.
So did you face any challenges initially relocating to the UK? What was it?
A lot of challenges, as you can say. To settle down, first of all, you have to get your status right.
Yeah.
So during that period, you're fighting to get your status right. And that takes something like between 5. In my own case, it was 5 years plus.
How was it setting up the restaurant?
Yeah. Well, setting up a restaurant was not easy. It's initially I was looking for a place that I can acquire on a freehold, but unfortunately, I didn't get that because of the cash. So this one I will pick up in Greenwich. It's on a lease.
Oh, okay.
So I took money out of my property that I own, and with my missus, we put money together to initially buy the business.
Okay. Oh, it was already a restaurant.
It was like a restaurant, but it was closed. The building was closed. It has a setup.
All right.
But it was closed, and it has been. We find out that it has been closed for 3 years.
Oh.
So we came in. It was really. It's not like the current state, as you can see in the background.
Yeah.
So we have to invest. So far we've invested nearly 200K in this business.
Oh, so how long has the restaurant been running?
The restaurants have been running for 3 years plus.
3 years plus.
Yes.
And
so to be precise, I think it started in May, so it's already 3 years.
3 years.
It was May. We took the lease at the end of 2019, start of 2020, and then the COVID came.
Oh.
So COVID came, and we were doing the decoration, and we had that they have to close all businesses.
Oh my. That was tough.
That was tough. So 2 years of this business was a tough one.
The first 2 years.
The first 2 years was basically nothing.
Oh wow. Okay.
So we opened and it was only takeaway. The first time we managed to open was when they said the Chancellor, now Prime Minister, decided to say to help businesses so people can come in and eat.
Yeah.
And that was the first time we opened so that people can come eat. And then later they closed. And it was closed until again around July 2022.
Oh, okay.
It was 2021, yeah, around that. Then we open again.
So that's like 1 year now, like
yes.
Open for cities.
Yes, so 1 year is now it's open fully without any restrictions, and people have been coming in.
So what inspired you to start a restaurant? Why not any other business? Why a restaurant?
Well, I would say cooking is something I picked up. My mom liked cooking, and I always be with my mom in the kitchen. And then come my sister. My sister was a chef here, my late sister. So we love cooking in our home. So I just pick it from there, just love the fear for cooking.
Is that what really inspired you to do the
yes,
restaurant?
that's what just inspired me to say we should have something for Sierra Leoneans or Africans, develop it, but in a twist. So we mix and match. Like in our Calabash restaurant, currently we do Sierra Leone food, we do some from Nigeria, we do some from Ghana, we just pick up some from Kenya. It's just mix food. So that people...
So basically African food.
African food. So that people can come and enjoy. And also to give the taste of Africa. In high street. Because there is not much of African restaurant. There are not many African restaurants in high street in the UK.
High street, you mean?
The busiest street.
Oh, so this is the busiest street?
Yes, those are where you have the main roads.
Oh, the main roads.
The main roads, I would say.
Okay.
So because the prices are it's pricey. The rents are quite high, business rate is quite high.
Yeah.
So we don't tend to open restaurants in those areas.
Oh.
And then it's the packages. So we're trying to bring it to other people, not only Africans, for other people to taste African meal, African cuisine.
Talking about it, who are your major clients?
I would say you have, I think it's spreading between, we have around 40% comes from different backgrounds. And then the remaining 60% Africans.
Africans.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like almost balanced.
Almost balanced, I would say.
Oh, that's really lovely.
Surprisingly, yes.
That's lovely. What are the major challenges of running restaurant business?
The major challenges that we are facing is the high cost of living at the moment. The price for food is becoming very expensive. We're buying the product. getting somebody to work for you is one of the bigger challenge.
What do you mean?
Sourcing chefs, because of it's a specific cuisine.
Oh.
You have to train the person to understand the cuisine, because sometimes when somebody comes for a dish, they want to get a clarity. You have to explain to them what the food is, So and then getting the person coming in to work with you and to be able to pay them as well. In our own case, one of the challenges we've got finances. It's another challenge. So people like us, we fund our business. The bank doesn't, because it's the too early stage for us. They don't give us money.
Okay.
So even though they can see income coming in, income going in, and like money coming out, and this and that, they said you don't have much yet.
Oh.
So we have to be taking money. When we are short, we have to be taking money from our property and putting. So to get a business going on in the UK, you have to have a massive working capital.
What do you think makes your restaurant unique?
Well, what I would say, I think is we do different African food, and we are open to anybody.
All right.
And our customer service, as you can see, I'm always here talking, welcoming people and share ideas, and we talk, and I think we are very friendly. And friendly to our guests.
I can admit that from the last.
We make our guests, people dining in Calabash restaurant, feel at home.
Do you have many guests who come back?
We have a lot of people who come back. Yes, we do have a lot of people who come back, and they will tell us even when they visit us again. They say, "Oh, we're coming back. I like the food." And we have orders from like the Uber Eats, Deliver, and Just Eat. We have repeated customers who come in, who keep ordering the same type of food, that they like the food.
Oh, so someone can find you on Uber Eats and all that?
You can find us on Uber Eats, Deliver, and Just Eat.
Oh, okay.
And you can go into our website, which is www.thecalabashrestaurant.co.uk.
So someone can still be able to make an order through your website?
You can be able to make an order to the website, yes.
That's lovely.
And the magazine is there as well. And in the restaurant, we do have a display of the magazine.
Yeah, so this is the magazine, right?
Yes.
Okay, let me just see the highlight. I see Magufuli.
Yes. Yes, we had to write about Magufuli. It's one of my main, I would say, admire. It was a very good leader.
Okay.
Yeah, so in passing away, we said in Calabash, we need to write something about him. Because we think that he has done within a short time, he made some few changes, an impact in the African community. How often do
you publish this magazine?
We come out twice, one summer and one winter.
Oh.
Yes, only two
magazines. Per year.
Yes, 2 per year.
Do you feel it is easier for you to run business here than it would have been in Africa or in Sierra Leone?
Well, it's hardly hard to give any opinion on that, because I'm here. The problem is that with a business, you have to be there if you have not got the money yet. So I look at it, to run a business, if I'm in the UK, I run the business, I'm here in the UK, especially if you're an entrepreneur. If you want to run in Africa, you have to get a presence in Africa. Yeah. Because I've tested businesses in Africa, even the magazine. It goes to Sierra Leone, it goes to America, and other places. But the interest that the people over there will pay on the business is not as much as the interest, because you monitor it. Yeah. Your presence helps people to do what they want to do.
All right.
So that's it. So preferably, I'm here. That's why I'm keen to say I'm in the UK. Let me establish in the UK. It's not an easy thing to run a business in the UK. Because it's quite much expensive.
Okay.
It's easy to open a business, but it's quite much more expensive
to run it. So
the cost of labor cost of people, employing people is quite high.
Do you ever go back to Sierra Leone?
I do visit Sierra Leone, yes.
How often?
My last visit was 5 years ago.
Oh, 5 years ago.
Yes.
And do you ever plan, maybe someday you decide, okay, now I want to go and relocate, I want to stay in Sierra Leone?
Well, possibly. I work here, as I said, apart from my business, I do office work. I work as a finance person, an accountant, for that matter. So, yes, I would like to go back home. in the future to say coming to retire or to establish a business. The business is already there, and the magazine is in Sierra Leone, but not like the restaurant. But eventually, one would like to relocate back home, settle back home, you know, when you get older, and do something for the country where I come from.
Okay, all right. So you would want to relocate later on in life.
Later on in life.
Why so? Why not be like, okay, this is it. I'm going to be here forever.
Well, I think things change. Things are changing. Africa, there is opportunity. You know, because I'm in the media world, I can see there are a lot of opportunities. Things are developing. I don't want to say too much, but there's much more much more room for development in Africa. You know, it's not that development is not happening in the UK.
Yeah,
it is in a point where it's saturated.
I totally understand.
Yeah, the competition is keen, and there are people with vast experience, massive experience, who are running the business or running the things. So for you to get a foothold and to develop the younger generation in Africa, and there are rooms for much more improvement. So experience that we've gained here in the UK or any part of the world, you can transport that experience to back home, and you help to develop back home.
I think being here, it makes you see a lot of opportunities and gaps that entrepreneurs can fulfill back home that you probably wouldn't see if you were back home.
If you're back home, yes. Yeah. That's correct.
And it's the same thing that also happens with traveling. You get to see opportunities and you get to see businesses, and you're like, oh, so I can just take this, and you know, there's room for this, and this can work back home. Yeah. But when you're back home, if you don't travel, if you've not lived anywhere, you might not see it.
You won't see it. You won't see it. And that's true. Even when I was growing up, there are things that I've seen here. If I was in Sierra Leone, I don't think I would even step into it. You won't class it, because there are businesses that are in the UK or other places that they're running that people are making a lot of money. Back home, we underestimate it, or we don't see it at all. Let's say like farming.
Yeah, farming. Yeah, we see it as a
you see it as a low-class business.
Yeah.
Why it's a better business that makes you a lot of money. You know?
Well, that's what you actually studied.
That's what I studied. That's what I studied.
You studied about farming way
back years ago.
Oh,
so when I came here, because there was nothing in that field,
so I had to go into finance.
Into finance, because that's, you know, as you can see, UK is a center financial capital. Yes, financial capital. So the opportunities are greater if you are in that.
In finance.
In finance.
Oh, okay.
Whereas back home, the weather permits, the environment is there for farmers.
And it's the land.
That's what I say. You got a fertile land, and a lot to do, and some of them are basically in their virgin state. Nobody tamper with them.
Yeah, it's like they're bush.
Yes, they're bush. Yes, nobody cares about them. So if you go there, you could basically open, and then you have all the say animal husbandry. You go into poultry and all of these. That could make you massive money. Look at it when we say for a plantain. Plantain goes in most African countries, like in Sierra Leone, it's merely of natural.
Yeah.
We don't really commercialize it. It's like, so it's plantain in the UK, the cheapest you can get is 3 plantain for £1.50.
Ooh. In Sierra Leone, that's a whole,
that's a whole chunk of the whole 3 of plantain.
Yeah.
So you can see if somebody focus and said, in Sierra Leone, and say, let me commercialize plantain, you can make a lot of money.
But how can they commercialize it when everybody has it? Or are you talking about like for them to make it and then look on export?
Yes.
Okay.
When you're back home, you don't see it. Maybe the opportunity is not there. So how can you get a farmer or a company interested in your plantation of plantain? You'll have to get a contact.
Yeah.
And I think that's where like the governments in our countries, that the African leaders need to create that contact for farmers, for people to know, to say you can get opportunities. Somebody can lease your land or can lease and could work with you on your plantation, that you're always supplying them plantains or you're supplying them avocado.
All right. and you know, right now there's this thing, a lot of West Africans or Nigerians, they would call it Japa. I don't know if you know what Japa is. No. Basically, it's like a lot of young Africans, they very keen on, it's like take off from your country, like they
run away.
Yeah, so like there's a lot of Africans who feel like maybe there is not so much opportunities
back home.
So like they will do whatever. I mean, we've had stories of some people even having to cross through the Mediterranean, some dying and all that. So what advice do you have to a lot of young Africans who feel like they need to, in order for them to succeed, they have to go to the West?
Well, it is a tricky thing. I know when somebody has made up their mind to say they want to come abroad, to come to the UK or to America, it's hardly you can't convince them. But I think wherein it boils down to our governments, the people who are the leaders. That responsibility is to make their citizens feel at home, feel that there are opportunities at home. To say, at the moment, what I'm seeing, most African countries, the leaders are not focusing on giving the awareness to the younger generation when you finish university or school, that the opportunities are there. So if somebody finishes university for 3-4 years and can't get a job, you're pushing the person to look elsewhere. Yeah. Even if most of our graduates coming from Africa are all traveling out of the country, which is a brain drain, because the government or those who are in authority are not making people feel at home to say the opportunities are there. And based on Africa, we have too many young people, and government should really focus their attention on starting from even very low class of business funding, development, so people can say, yes, I can earn money. It's not people don't want to. It's not people just want to get rich. It's just making their own life, comfortable. To wake up in the morning and have something to eat. Yeah. And I think that's the pressure which most of the African leaders are not in that position of providing. I think I have an article that is coming to say the current African leaders are they the right leaders for Africans. So it's forget about what is happening in overseas. I think most our leaders will concentrate back home. Try to see we've been for many years, all the resources going out and out. Are we getting much of what the wealth that are in Africa? Our resources, that is for the next generation. So I think that's the challenge. It's a challenge. I won't say if somebody going into fighting to come to UK, I can't say don't come to UK, but don't take the risk of killing yourself to go through the Mediterranean Sea. Your life is far more than that. There are much more opportunities. There are much more opportunities once you are alive than risking to cross the Mediterranean. If you cannot have somebody to say, again, it's also boiled down on us in the diaspora, giving, talking facts, explaining to our brothers and sisters back home that it's not everything that is glitter that is gold. But that's what you show us on social media. Yes. Say no. We in social media, what people are saying is mainly the good things. They say I won't tell to say, oh, things are bad in the UK. There are things are bad. There are times that you work very hard, 24 hours. There are people who work 18 hours in the UK. So when I came to UK, I used to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. How many hours were you working when you first came to the UK? I used to work something like I was 15, 16 hours. Oh my goodness. Now I have my business. I spend more hours, even in a business, even when you own a business. Sometimes I get home around 2 o'clock in the morning. So basically, the thing and get up at 6 o'clock. So it's not a walk in the park, and it's not as easy as it seems. Yes. Yeah. Because I think on the other side, people think like, okay, if I go there, I work hard, of which, in my opinion, I think you can still work hard back home if you put the same effort. Because I feel, having been here, I've noticed people don't even have time for you. Exactly. So. There's no, social life as much, so people don't have time for you. Everybody's working. Everybody's busy. Yeah. Yes. You can find a family, a husband and wife, and they see themselves only maybe in the evening. Or sometimes the husband may be working from other place, like in America, and they will come back maybe the following day. So this is what people need to know. It's not an easy work. And I think if those efforts, the other days I was talking with friends here in the restaurant, we said that the amount of effort we put overseas, if we put those efforts back home, you definitely have food on the table. Simple things that we look here, when you look back home, you underestimated it, those can make you a lot of money.
So I know you've interacted with a lot of Africans who come here. Do a lot of them tend to, do you feel like a lot of them when they get here, they realize like it's not exactly what they expected?
Yes, you have different type of people. The younger ones come in, they find it to be tougher. To say, it's tough to live in the UK. It's tough to get settled.
So
it's hard work. Well, once people are here, that's the difficulty going back and you're not achieved because of the expectation back home. People have high expectation back home. To say when you're overseas, you should have achieved so much.
They want you to also send them money.
That is it. And when you don't achieve that, how can you go back home?
So now that brings me to this conversation. You know, when we are back in Africa, we look at people like you, our family, friends abroad, and then we feel like they have lots of money. So sometimes even when you're asking for money and they don't give you, you feel like maybe they're selfish. What do you think?
Well, it is a time it's not all that is glitter is gold. People won't tell you, even here in the UK, when they're going tough time. Like now, mortgages are going up. There's some people who are in variable rate. Their mortgage has gone. They're counting the pennies. They're struggling. So if you're back home, they won't tell you to say, "Oh, I cannot send." They will just keep quiet. Because they won't tell you to say, "I'm struggling." Because when you're in the diaspora, you cannot, you don't have nowhere to turn to say, "Oh, can you send me money from Sierra Leone? Or can you send me money from Kenya or Nigeria?" Except you have a father who is
a billionaire.
Yes, either a billionaire like Dangote or you're in a political realm where political groups wherein maybe they have the extra fund to say, "Oh, you're my daughter, can I help you?" But you cannot just go and ask somebody back home. Why? It's an inverse. You say, here, somebody can pick up a phone. "Oh, my brother is there, but I'm short of money." And you try the best to please them. It's not that the person have a lot. Some people will go out of their way, even taking loans, to just help their brothers and sisters or friends back home.
That's crazy.
And it pities me most of the time when people invest their money to say, "Oh, help me build a house or help me run a business," and the other person back home try to misuse the money or eat the money.
Oh, that's sad.
And there are several cases we run in the magazine. People come up with all of these things saying that, "Oh, this is what is happening." And I think for me, that's the way the government need to be helping as well. Wherein people here and overseas have spent time and they're putting their money, investing it for smaller business or building their house on this, and someone is taking it and misusing it. Government should help the diaspora on it.
How can the government do it? Sometimes when it's like
well, it's illegal.
You take them to court.
Yes, it's setting a good legal process, because even like for Sierra Leone, I know that people con people for even land.
Oh, so someone's trying to buy land?
Yes, you buy the land from someone and you find out that the land is fake.
Oh, no.
It doesn't exist. So I believe it doesn't happen only in Sierra Leone, it happens in other African countries. So that is where our governments, they need to spend some more time and try to review those things and put a proper legislations that will deter those who are in that habit of taking their money from overseas and misuse it.
I've heard of those incidents whereby someone builds a house and then you'll find even the photos and everything they've been sending you is fake.
Exactly so, yes. So that's what I'm saying. If you have a proper structure, it will not happen like here in the UK, because there's a proper
structure like you can follow
legally. And you cannot do it.
Yeah.
You would happen in America and other developed countries. It cannot.
All right.
So these are the things that our leaders, it's their responsibility to say, this is our diasporans, they're investing money. It's helping every small money that goes help to develop the country.
All right. That's very true. I totally agree with that. The systems, we need to work on the systems
We need to work on our system back home.
Yeah. I've also noticed are you into fashion? I noticed in the restaurant we have some African
well, as you can see, the magazine covers fashions as well. So we like the culture. As I said, I like culture.
So
I write about
you sell
cultures.
these ones?
There's a friend displaying it as well. The county clothes, as you can see at the back. This is from Sierra Leone.
Yeah.
And it's a proper, actual, coming from the cotton wool, and it's hand woven.
Handmade?
Yes.
Okay.
So these are the things we sell it here. We display it for it, and the person, if you want it, the person normally, you get the number is here, you call them, and they'll pick it up.
Oh, so it's another vendor.
It's another vendor, another small entrepreneur who we are helping to market.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yes.
So you work with different businesses?
I work with different businesses. Most of the
here.
product that we use here comes from smaller entrepreneurs, smaller shops.
Oh, okay.
The food product that we use, the things that we use, most of it, they are pure African foods that are selling in the market. So we purchase it. So we have smaller people who does their own smaller business. We help them as well.
So you support them as well?
We support them as well.
All right.
And we write about them in the magazine. They advertise. As you can see.
They advertise on the magazine as well?
Yes, people advertise in the magazines, their product. And for example, this was a company, an African company that they build in properties.
Oh, so this is real estate?
Real estate. So they call them Jobo Mark. And they have offices they've built some property in Guinea, I think in Senegal.
Oh.
And now they have one in Sierra Leone that they're doing.
Okay.
Yes.
I see. But okay, so basically this is someone who's helping diasporans.
Yes.
So that they don't go through
you
the
don't go through the cutting process. You go directly to them, you can get your house built and purchased.
All right. So, okay, don't want this to be too long. Do you have any advice for other entrepreneurs or young people who want to get into business and all that?
Yeah, my advice is hard work. I know to be an entrepreneur, it's not an easy thing. You need to get some capital, get some money somewhere, not only start in the business, but some money in the bank somewhere. That will help you to take the business into many more years. But it's hard work. It's not one go. It's not you saying 3 years, 2 years, you start getting profit. No.
It takes time to break even.
It takes time, as you can see, if you plant a mango tree, it takes time before it produces a mango. So just take your business as a mango tree. So before you start eating the mango, it will take you years.
You buy the plant, you have to care for it, ensure there's no,
That is it. So that's my advice.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Pleasure having this conversation with you.
The Tigress, African Tigress. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
You're welcome. So thank you all for watching this episode. I hope you truly enjoyed this conversation with Mr. Bankole Jones.
Bankole Jones, yes.
Yeah, I hope I pronounced it right.
That's correct.
Make sure you subscribe and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I'll leave his details in the description. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. And like I always say, sharing is caring. So share this video to inspire other people, and we'll bring you more episodes like this where we shall be interacting with a lot of Africans in the diaspora, no matter the country where you come from in Africa. You're doing business all over, as I'm doing the Europe tour right now. Reach out to me and let's have this conversation. See you on the next episode.
Thank you very much. Bye.